Okay, yes indeed. Welcome here to another episode of the Pitboard discussions. I'm your host, the Trouble Man himself, joined here by the Statman Mushiri and less troublesome Dan.
Yeah.
And we're here for another episode. And man, look, this is one episode I didn't want to do. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. This is one episode I didn't want to do.
One of many.
one of many, really.
There's Le Mans at least.
Now, we haven't gotten to that yet, but we are discussing Formula 1 at the moment. Now, in Formula 1 terms, this is one episode.
It's the same hat.
Okay,
context
for the listeners and the viewers, wherever you're watching from, welcome. We really do appreciate having you here. Context for the listeners, I'm a Ferrari fan. I'm a Tifosi. The two chaps with me here, these guys are Red Bull fans. Do you guys have like a name for you guys? Because we call Mercedes people the cult members. The Papaya fans, you know they're the Papaya fans. For the Red Bull guys, they don't really know. Do you guys have a name or something?
Twitter to the Bulls.
The Bulls.
Yeah.
What about Alpha Tauri guys? Or Racing Bull guys?
Those are Italians.
Italian Bulls.
Those are Italians.
Okay. Yeah. So the guys from Red Bull here, they made my life a living hell. So context again for the listeners. Ferrari have been doing exemplary well in the last few races until Montreal happened.
Stop the cap.
Until Montreal happened. And the crazy thing was, I actually uploaded a reel on the Pitboard socials. Where it was a Ratatouille meme. Yeah, you can go check it out. And the chef guy who always views the letters. You remember you viewed the reel?
Yeah.
The chef guy who views the letters, that's now Max. He was looking at P1 in Shanghai, P1 there. Then there was this notion, the races Max hasn't won. What are the races? Now, he didn't win in Melbourne. He didn't win in Miami. And he didn't win in Monaco. Now, there is a common factor with those three places. They're all cities starting with letter M.
M for Max.
Yeah. Now, going into Montreal or going into the Canadian GP, that's the Villeneuve. What's the track?
Villeneuve. Gilles Villeneuve.
The track.
Yeah.
Now, the city where the
Montreal,
track is Montreal, which was an M. Now, there was a superstitious thing happening.
I told you. Remember last time I told you, he's a superstitious guy.
There was a superstitious thing happening here whereby we're going into Montreal.
Let's go.
And we know Canada isn't also a good place for Red Bull. But they had resurfaced it, if I'm not...
Yeah, they did.
I'm sure. Don't mention it as an excuse, but continue.
Yeah, they had resurfaced it. So we knew we were going to see another Max disaster class. But unfortunately, woe unto me.
Stop digressing. What are you talking about, Max?
Ilienda kama boomerang. It's boomerang.
This is that situation where you counted your chicks before they hatch. And then you break all the eggs on the doorstep. So, yeah. Ferrari had a disaster of a race.
And do you know how much of a disaster it was?
Yeah. We got 0 points. That's how much of a disaster it was.
No Ferrari powered car finished on points.
1 point.
Yes, I've remembered.
No Ferrari powered car had
So what are
points
you saying?
in Montreal.
What are you guys saying?
Alpine are better than Ferrari.
No. Come on. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. Okay, in all honesty, it was a race to forget for the guys in red. It was a race to forget. And there was this recurring theme from FP3. The drivers, both of them, Sainz and Charles Leclerc, were like, no power. We have no power. And it was a situation whereby you kind of wonder, was it a setup issue or was it something that the guys at Maranello should be wary of? Because, listen, whenever a team has a bad race or has a bad weekend...
But Sainz didn't have that issue. And he didn't perform.
He did. He had that issue. He said he was struggling with the car.
And I'm saying struggling with the loss of power.
I don't really know if that's a yes or no. Yes, he had the issue or not, because he didn't outrightly say, I have power issues. But he said he was really struggling with the car.
The one we remember, Charles, you remember he did a reboot in the pit.
Yeah.
Sainz didn't do a reboot in the pit.
He didn't do a reboot.
So,
but he was struggling for power.
Sainz?
Yes.
Why did Carlos retire, by the way?
Driver.
It wasn't. No, wasn't.
It's a driver.
Is this the one? No, Charles is the one who retired because he was like, listen, we can't continue this race. He was like, what are we even fighting for?
Carlos retired because he went off the track and he reversing he hit
Re-ended
Albon.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
His future teammate.
so to speak.
Like, yo, wake up.
It's
Yeah,
time we knew
yeah.
each other.
Yeah. But remember, I don't know if it was the last episode or I think it was after we were doing a race 7 and 8 or something review. And I told you Carlos said something after the post race at Imola. He said there's something about the car which I'm not allowed to talk about in Formula 1.
Kuna
Which
kitu.
car?
Ferrari. Kwani Carlos
No,
is
no.
Carlos
Now,
a Williams driver.
what are you trying to say?
There's something about that car which is not working as expected.
And he's not allowed to say.
And he's not allowed to say. There's just something about that car, bro. Because
Do you have
Imola,
proof?
yes?
Do you have proof he
No,
said that?
there's a pattern. There's a pattern.
No, do you have proof he said that?
He
Do you
said-
have evidence?
Yes.
Exhibit.
In the post race.
Yes.
Nitaweka.
Hakikisha umeweka.
Bro, I just can't. Bro, I can't appear here and report things that don't exist.
Hey.
You can't say things
Yeah.
out of
Hey.
your ass.
He did. He said there's something about that car which you can't say as in openly in Formula 1. And honestly, I think Monaco was an outlier because we know Monaco is, first of all, we are talking about minimum speeds. And also come Sunday, it was, again, I don't want to revisit Monaco because I'll start sleeping. It was a boring ass race. We didn't see any racing happen. Yeah. And also, if you look at the stats at Monaco, if you qualify P1, you'll most likely just finish the race P1. So to me, Monaco, I didn't see any shades of performance as in from that Ferrari car.
There's no enough data.
There's no enough data. But Montreal, bro, you just said it from from free practice.
Yeah.
Carlos and Charles were like,
No,
they were nowhere.
in FP1, you always like, they're still trying to figure out the proper setup and everything. So FP1 wasn't really, alarm bells ringing or anything. FP2, you're like, okay. I mean, I should expect to see at least one car has stopped the chart, has stopped the times at least once, When it came to FP3, that's when I knew, because FP3 is always when they leave the car like that so that they can come with it like that to quali.
Yeah, and remember we had mixed conditions.
And we had mixed conditions. It was raining, it was pouring, it was crazy, and the track was wet. A lot of things were happening. It just wasn't a good day. And from where we are currently in East Africa, the time zones, we are watching the race at night. We're watching the race at around 9 p.m., 8 p.m. So it's a situation whereby I'm home early to try and watch this thing, and I'm just getting bad vibes from it. The clouds are gloomy. Truthing isn't right.
There's something wrong with that car.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Wait,
There's something wrong with that
Charles.
truck.
No, Charles also said, remember after Quali at Imola, what did Charles say? He doesn't understand how the McLarens and the Red Bulls were just fast all of a sudden.
I mean, okay, listen. Okay.
And wait, there's some resemblance between the Imola track and Montreal. Heavy braking, and you basically need good traction. And the Ferrari-powered cars have always been good with heavy braking tracks that require you to the car to accelerate out of that car chicane or that car slow corner. That is where Ferrari has always thrived. Imola has plenty of chicanes. Montreal has plenty of chicanes. Both tracks, we didn't see any Ferrari-powered car like doing anything magical. There's something. Iko kitu.
Okay,
but what I had
as less troublesome Dam continues to push this narrative down my throat. Give us a different point of view. Give us a different.
Me, what I heard about Ferrari, they were not able to switch on the tires. Somehow the tires were not working for him. Also, Hamilton also had almost the same kind of problem, but his wasn't as worse as Ferrari. So the also low temperatures, maybe it's one of the reasons why they were not firing up the cars, but we are not sure. So that's why we are really looking forward to Spanish GP, because that is the track where they used to do most of their testing. They know the track very well, and whatever we see in the Spanish GP most likely will represent. They will put the cars in order. So yes, there's a Ferrari disaster in Canada, but I'm not reading much from it. But Spanish ndio msema kweli.
I have to agree. I concur with you on this one. The guy with
I am calling it here. Ferrari is going to struggle.
Let's wait for
Ferrari is going to struggle.
Listen, I know.
If Ferrari are not on podium,
I know we are hot behind your heels.
calling it.
I know we are hot behind your heels, but that doesn't mean you give us doom predictions, false doom predictions. This guy is the prophet of doom.
I believe the Monaco cars came late.
It arrived late.
It just came late. Came a bit late.
Well,
But you still got the yearly dose of
on the
cars.
flip side, I could argue. Let me just throw this in there as a Ferrari guy. I could argue we kind of, we just did our own triple crown this year. I'm counting it.
No one cares.
I'm counting it. Listen, don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter.
And what is this triple crown? Please talk
This
about
is Triple Crown. The Triple Crown is the 3 most prestigious races to win in motorsports. Now, number 1 is Monaco, the Monaco GP. Number 2, that's Le Mans, 24 hours.
Number 3?
Number 3 is IndyCar 500. Now,
Ferrari.
Listen.
Ferrari hata ikuko.
I'm taking my win. This is why I'm taking my win. Now watch as I take my win, yeah? So we know Ferrari and Shell are Ferrari and Shell are very good associates. They're affiliates. When you see Shell, you see Ferrari next to it. That's how it's always been. Just the way you see Samsung in
What
the
are you
blue
talking
color.
about? On our way to this place, we passed by a couple of Shell petrol stations.
Now, when you go to Shell petrol stations, when those guys are in uniform, don't you see a Ferrari tag somewhere?
No, there's no Ferrari.
There is a Ferrari.
There's no
No
prancing
Ferrari
horse.
tag.
There's always a Ferrari.
There's no
There's no
prancing
Ferrari
horse.
tag.
We can bet on it.
There's no prancing horse.
These guys when they wear their
There is
uniform,
no prancing
Hakuna.
horse.
okay, you know what? We are going to look at it, and I will prove you guys wrong again.
Hakuna.
There's always like a Ferrari horse somewhere when they wear the
Just say the
Okay,
fuel
let me-
supplier won
Yes.
the triple crown.
No, the
fuel
fuel
supplier
supply. No.
won the triple
I am taking it for the red team.
And IndyCar, wait, quick question. Because IndyCar it's a spec series. I think it's Chevrolet and Honda, and I don't know who makes the chassis. I think it's Dallara. It's a spec series. So it's not like IndyCar there's any other fuel supplier. So
Hey, bro.
But anyway, we'll let you have it, man.
I'm telling you, McLaren have always been on our throats
Wipe
on
your
this
tears
case.
with-
But anyway, I'm wiping my tears with a back-to-back Le Mans win.
But wait. See, the car that won IndyCar was McLaren.
No, it was a Chevrolet.
It was a Chevrolet.
Yeah, it was
Not
a
a McLaren.
What is a McLaren doing there?
McLaren is not in Indy.
It is,
They
but what is
sponsor.
it doing winning?
They just sponsor us. They sponsor
What,
teams.
what are they doing winning?
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, listen. Exactly. I'm wiping my tears with a back-to-back Le Mans win. We'll discuss.
Hey, bro.
We'll discuss that at length. It's like that guy. I don't know if you've watched that meme, that gif where the guy is wiping his tears with dollar bills. Yeah, that's exactly what we are doing here. We are wiping our losses, the Montreal losses, with a back-to-back Le Mans win. And 9 points off the constructor leader. Who is it at this point? I think it's Toyota or Porsche, whoever it is. 9 points
Porsche.
off.